this question on labels. I want to do the correction. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. The task 3 database is, the question says you are now going to prepare some reports. Dates are to be imported in the format of day, month, year, that is DMY. Make sure all currency values display the same currency symbol and are set to 0 decimal places. So the question, improper. Using a suitable database package, import the file j221bookings.csv, comma separated values. So to start with, we go to access blank database. You can name it, let me name it label 1. Okay, and I'm saving it in document. Then you click on create. So you have this. Going back to the question, let's see. Import the file j221bookings.csv. So I go to external data menu. I go under import and link text file. Then I go to pick the source file. The source file is actually on the desktop. Then I quickly go to desktop, and then that will be database label. Database, depending on the name of the folder. In my case, I think I use database mode. Okay, ICT label j221 bookings. So I pick it. Okay, at this junction I go to next. Yes, since I see the first row is different from other rows, I click on first row contains field names. Then I go straight to advanced setting. The question is DMY, that is the date format. I have to pick DMY. That is very important. Then I go back to the question. The question says title, first name, last name should be text. So I go back there. The first 3 text, title, first name, last name, text. Access calls it short text. That is okay. Then the next one is customer ID, which is number. Customer ID is number, and that is here. Customer ID number. Integer is a type of number, so we are okay with that. Then the next one is street address, area, postcode, telephone. This for also text, so I make sure that they are in text data type. Okay. Telephone, usually telephone number is always set to text. Why? Because text data type can be used for telephone number, because even though it's called telephone number, the number there is not for calculation. It could contain special characters like hyphen, like slash, and then it could have a leading 0. So the best is to set it to text. And then the next one is depart dates, which is set to dates and time. Okay, depart date and time, that is there. Then the next one is days number, yacht ID text, day number, okay, and yacht ID text. So with this we are good to go. Okay, next. Then on setting primary key, set customer ID as a primary key. Set customer ID as a primary key. Customer ID, choose my own primary key. Customer ID as primary key is set to primary key. Next. So that is done, and this is the file that has been imported successfully. Then to do the formatting part of it, we can go to the display column. It says the date should be DD YY. So that is a short date format. So I go to the file. Then for dates, let me quickly set the date. So you bring your cursor to date. Make sure that the part date row is selected, either year or year. Then you come to format under general, and since the format given to you in the question is DD-YY, so we can do it in 2 different ways. So I can set it to DD-YY. Let me confirm before clicking OK. Okay, that is it. Then I say done. It will ask if I want to save, so I say yes. If you come back to the date, you see that it is in that format already because we have set it to that format. And having done that, we continue, save the data. To save the data, just come here, right click on this and save. So The next one is import the file j221yard.csv as a new table in your database using these field names and data types. Very quickly, I get that one done. So I come back to external data, text file, browse it, then I pick yard, click on open and click OK. Next, the first row is different from every other row, so I'm going to separate it by clicking on first row contains field names. When I come to advanced, don't forget the date format is DMY. Then I set the data type. Setting the data type, yard's name to depart country is text, yard's name text, 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 to depart country text. So that is correct. Then I go to build is number, so we may leave it on long integer, the default value. Then length is number. Using access, we have about 3 types of numbers. We have integer, we have double, we have currency. So since this is set to double is a type of number that can allow decimal places. So the best to pick for length is number. What type of number? In this case, access calls it double because it will allow decimal places. Don't forget, this will be later formatted to 2 decimal places, so it's better we set it to double from this point. So I'm going to set it to double. Okay, length is double. That is done. Then cabins, toilet, guests are number. All this one will probably be integer. Why? Because integer refers to whole numbers, no decimal parts. So I pick that. Okay, integer. Then the next one is day rate. Day rate is number. What type of number? Currency, and it is set to 0 decimal places. So we quickly get this done. Number and currency. So it's better I pick currency since there is a data type called currency in access currency. Then I click OK. Next, you may wonder that I've not set to 0 decimal places. This will be done in the design view after successful importing of the file. So I'll come back to this. Then let's proceed. Next, now to pick primary key according to the instruction, set the href as a primary key. So I get it done. The href as primary key, so I pick it. It's set to primary key. Next, finish. So the table is successfully imported. So I double click to open, go to design view and set other things that are important. What are those things that are important? Length, because we have been told to set to 2 decimal places, and day rate to be set to 0 decimal places. So I'm going to get these two done very quickly. So length to 2 decimal places. So I must click on length here before I do it. Very important, length. So I come to format, to decimal places. From auto I set it to 2 decimal places. That's the instruction. Then the next one is day rate currency. By default for currency it is usually set to auto, and that auto is 2 decimal places. We can confirm by coming to this place to see. We can see that it's set to 2 decimal places, but we have been told to set to 0 decimal places. So I come to currency, then I pick 0 decimal places. If I come to view, let's see whether we have it. Okay, it is 0 decimal places. Depending on the computer you are using, sometimes you might need to come and fix it to fixed. Clicking on fixed means that you must obey these 0 decimal places, and that will be good. Let's see, and it is set to 0 decimal places for day rate. Oh, okay, I think day rate is currency, so it's better we leave it on currency and set it to 0 decimal places. Currency 0 decimal places, because it has to do with currency. So that is better. Oh, it is better this way. So then the next one is to take screenshot evidence of the table structures showing the primary keys, field names and data types, and place this in your evidence document. It's very important to take the right evidence. Very, very important. So to take for the 2 tables, this is the first table. Come to the design view. When taking the screenshot, make sure that all these things are visible. including the primary key, symbol or icon that is here. Everything is properly taken. Then you paste it in your evidence document. Then for the second table, which is yacht, you come to design view, make sure everything is fully visible. You take the screenshots and paste in the evidence document. So that is done. Then the next one, according to the instruction, is to create a one-to-many relationship between yacht between yacht ref in the yacht table and yacht ID in the bookings table, and take the screenshot evidence. To get this done too, is very simple. Just come to database tools, go to relationship, double click on the first table, the second table, then you close. Before you do that, open up this so that nothing will be hidden. Open it up like this. Then the question says from yacht ID to yacht ref. So since one of the field is a primary key and this one is not a primary key, so you must be creating a one-to-many relationship. So you can see that one-to-many relationship, then you click on create. So the moment you click on create, you will see that this has been connected to this via this field, yacht ref and yacht ID. So this is done. Then the next thing is to take evidence. While taking the evidence, take the evidence showing all the fields fully visible. Then we are done with that. Then the next one, which is number 15, enter the following details as a new record in the bookings table. Enter the following details as a new record in the bookings table. So to get that done is very simple. You have been given the data to enter. So you just open your bookings table. So I go back to my database. It's a good practice to save this before closing. Save it before closing, before you enter a new record. So you save everything, then you know nothing is there. So you can now open. The question says we should insert a new record in the bookings table. So clicking on that, we have the bookings table. Now to add a new record, just come to this button, new blank record, and you can also see it in this place to add a new record. You can see new. When you click that, you have this. So the first thing according to the instruction is Mr. Then the next one is L1. First name is L1. So I quickly type that L1. So many times students have asked me, is there any way they can add the record without typing it? At least for now, you need to type it. Then last name is Brown. Last name is Brown. The next one is customer ID, which is 2766. 2766. The next one is street address 18 Fendick. You have to type it correctly. Check the spelling. Fenwick Cottages. Fenwick Cottages. Then area is Peshawar. Then the next one is postcode P32, and then space 8xh, space 8xh. Then the next one is telephone, which is 0770 0900 0900, then 4128. So the next one is depart date 15 June 2022. 15 June 2022. Then you notice that the date is imputed in the format we have set in the table. Then days 12, and then yacht ID SY 0. Notice that is 0, not letter O. 082. and when you are done, come here to save, and be sure that you carry out verification by ensuring that this data has been copied correctly, accurately from the source. Then the next one is number 16. Using field from both tables, produce a tabular report that select the records where yard name includes the text C, days is 10 or more. Notice that you were asked to create a report, a tabular report. But before you can create a report, you need to create a query. Query will, search through your database, the tables in your database, and bring out the records based on a particular criterion or criteria you have set. So we do that now. You come to your table, save it, go to create, and click on query wizard. Pick simple query wizard. Okay. Now, since the question says from both tables, so you pick from both tables. This is the first table, which is bookings. You pick every field there. Come to the second table, which is yard. You may pick everything here. Go to next. Next. So since this is the query for the table, you may decide to name it query or call it 16 question 16, depending on what you prefer. Okay, for this I may prefer to call it question 16, so I know this query is for question 16. So then I click on finish. So this is the query. You can see it now, question 16. But for a query, we have three views. We have the data sheet view, the SQL view, and the data design view. So on the design view, this way I'm going to perform the actual query. The question says select the records where yacht name includes the text. Yacht name includes the text. So I look for yacht name. Yacht name. This is yacht name, the column for yacht name. Under includes, I'm going to pick on the criteria row. Look at the criteria row, and I pick yacht name. The question again, yacht name includes the text. So if it includes mean you are going to put star C. That's the instruction. Something that includes the text C. So let's confirm again, because it's very important. Okay, includes the text C. C is the underlined word, is the bold word. Then days is 10 or more. Days is 10 or more. So you go to day, 10 or more. Day is 10 or more. So okay, this day. Criteria row, 10 or more means that equals, that is greater or equals 10. That is equals 10 or more. So when you are using the less than or greater than, it comes before the equality sign. So that's why we have it as greater or equals 10. So having done that, you can run it and see what you have gotten. You will see now that the day is 10 or more. You can see from here 10 or more, and then the next one is it contains the text yacht name C. So come to the yacht name, you see the word C, Chelsea girl, Della Odyssey, you can see C biscuit, C breeze, and so on and so forth. So from the numerous records that we have 41 now. So we have filtered 41 because of the query we performed. So having done that, the next instruction says it contains a new field called charter cost, which is calculated at runtime. Anytime you want to create a calculated field, any field that was not part of the table that you just create it in the query is called a calculated field. To create a calculated field is very simple. Just come to the design view of the query, go straight to a new column, call it the name you were given, which is charter underscore cost. Charter underscore cost. So charter underscore cost. Notice that immediately after typing charter underscore cost, I put a colon, which is very important. Before you put a space or anything, the column is very, very important. Then what's the formula you use to calculate? The question says that This field will calculate the value of the days multiplied by the day rate. Value of the days multiplied by the day rate. So that will be day, whatever day is, multiplied by day rate. That's a day underscore rate. You notice that day is in one of the fields, days multiplied by day rate. If the day is days and you type day like I've typed, you will discover that when you run, you have an issue with day. So even though for grammatical expression reason it has been typed in the question as days multiplied by the day rate, don't ignore this s. So you need to look at the day. The reason why I was probably having issue is that this is spelled as days. That single letter matters. So if I run it now, you will see that it will work, and I will have it as charter cost, which I have here. But remember, we have been told that everything that has to do with currency should be set to 0 decimal places. So we come back to design view and set to 0 decimal place. Just bring your cursor in here, open the property sheet here, then go to decimal places and set it to 0. Set it to 0, then you run it, you discover that you have it in 0 decimal places, just like this. So this is neat job. Then the next one is display the charter cost field as currency with 0 decimal places. That's what we just did. Then shows only the fields: title, field name, last name, telephone, departs, and in this order. Do not group the data. So how do we get that done? So having done this in the query, just save the query. Then after a query, the next thing is to create the actual report. So click on this query, then you go to create and go to report wizard. So you discover that what you have here, the report will be based on this query you have created. And if your own query is not selected automatically, open up this and make sure you pick the query. Then you pick the fields in the order they have given you, which is title. You can see it: first name, last name. Let's go. Title, first name, last name, telephone, depart date, telephone, depart date. What else again? Depart port, yard name, depart port, then yard name. Then what else again? Length, days, day rate. Length, days, then day rate. Then the next one is the charter cost, the calculated field. So I click on that, then I have this. So you go to next. Now you have all the fields here. Now the question says you should not group. That's why we have nothing to do here, because the question has told us that do not group. You can see it here, do not group the data. So then go to next. Now we can perform the sorting here, but there's a better way or better place to sort so that the data will not be reorganized. Go to next. Then let's see the question. Sort the data into ascending order of yard name and descending order. So that's what I said, we can do it later. So let's start this place. The next one is to have a page orientation of landscape. Okay, landscape. So just pick landscape, then you click on next. So what's the title for the report? We can type the title here or just do it in design view. The title is Sea Fleet Bookings. Sea Fleet Bookings. Sea Fleet Bookings. Then I have it finished. Okay, good. First thing first, even though they don't normally add that in the question paper, I will advise that if you are using A4 paper and printer, always set your paper size to A4. It's very important. This is one of the reasons why when students print, candidate print in the exam, part of the paper will be cut away. So it's better you set your paper right from the beginning to A4. This is very, very important. So having done that, you can go to the next instruction, which is includes only the text Sea Fleet Bookings as a title displayed in larger font size at the top of the page. So let's quickly look at that. So this is, come to design view, click on this, come to format, make it bold, change the font color to automatic, so you have it like this. This is better. Then the next instruction is calculate. You remember that we skip this line of instruction, which is sort data into ascending order of yacht name and descending order of depart date. So let's quickly get this done. It's very important. Yacht name, ascending order of yacht name. So since yacht name is the first thing, just come to design tab, then under group and sort, click on it and click on add the sort. So when you click on add the sort, what's the first thing they ask us to sort? They say we should sort it in ascending order of yacht name. Ascending order of yacht name. So you pick ascending order of yacht name. Ascending order means A on top. Then what's the next thing? The question says descending order of depart date. Descending order. So you come to add another sort here. Then you say depart date, descending order. Descending order means from newest to oldest. That's descending order, from newest to oldest. Descending order. Okay, all these things we can still confirm by the time we are done with the work. So the next thing is include the text, which we have done. Calculate the total number of bookings and place this at the end of the report formatted as an integer. To calculate the total number of bookings is very simple. Just come here. You can get it done also. Do we have anything as a primary key here? The question says and place it at the end of the report. Okay, so just look for a primary key field. Do we have any primary key field? And if you don't have, you can just pick one. Since let's say we pick maybe the part port, for example. Don't forget the question, the total number of bookings. So it's like we are counting how many bookings or how many records we have there. So that's why I just click on this. So when you click on this, on the design tab, come to totals, then you see count values or count records. You can see that. So I think it's better for us to pick count values. If you have click on this, count records, so you have it this way, count records, because we could have used count values, but since no particular field was actually referenced, they didn't really want us to reference a particular field, so we can just use count records. You know, if you use count values, a particular field will be referenced. That's just the difference, but you are going to get the same answer. So having done this, let's go to print preview. Let's see it the way it looks before we go too far. You discover that if you go to the last page, you see it has calculated it and we have 41. Then the next thing is as a label total bookings to the left of this, total bookings to the left of this value, total bookings. So you come here, design view again, then you go to design tab, you pick label and put it, drag it open at the left. What they ask us to put, total bookings, and you type total bookings. So when you have that, you can format it so that it will be properly seen. So I like to use bold automatic this thing, and I can bold this automatic good. So before we go too far, can we see it in print preview so that we know how far we have gone? So if I go to the last page, I will have it. Don't forget the instruction says we should set to integer, that is there should be no decimal parts, and that's what we are having right now. So the next thing is just to make sure that all these hidden values, you know, are enlarged so that nothing will be hidden. So let's go to the next instruction. Displays only your name, center number and candidate number in the footer, so it appears in the same position on every page. So if you want to do that in the footer, make sure no other data is displayed in the footer. So this is very important. Displays only your name, center number and candidate number, only your name. So to put that, I go to design view, come to label, only your name. If they say it should appear on every page in the footer position, then it's better we use page footer. Page footer means every page. If you use report footer, it will only appear on the last page of the report. But page footer, according to the name is every page. So I may put it here, drag it open, put your name. My name is Gabriel Idowu, and my center number is NGSSS, and then what else? My candidate number is, let me use 0001. So having done that, remember that the question also say that in the same position on every page, make sure no other data is displayed in the footer. No other data. If you look at this, this is representing a particular data. This is for dates and time, and this one is for page number. You can see this for page number. For example, if you go to design view, you will see this time, date and time, and page number in the print preview. Let's see. Can you see this is the page and date and time? But remember, the question says nothing should display. If nothing will be displayed, so we click on each of these and delete it. Click on this, right click and delete. Click on this and delete, because the question says nothing else should display in the footer position apart from name, candidate number, and that's all. I may need to format this so that it will be clearly visible. All right, so having this is good. So the next thing is that you realize that we have finished this report, but before we do anything, let's preview it and see it clearly. So if you go to print preview, you see the reports, but you can see some things are still hidden. This is not good at all. So we need to open up every hidden detail. So the best place to do that is to come to the layout view. Look at it here, layout view. If you come to layout view, you'll be able to arrange your work properly. So you click on this first one, click on the other one for multiple selection, adjust it. Okay, it's usually good to start from the both extreme ends so that you can, ensure that your layout is consistent and nothing is breaking out of the layout. Okay, good. I think this is nice. Then you come here, adjust it to, come here too, you open it up that nothing is hidden. Okay, come to these two and open it up that nothing is hidden. Then this, open it up, nothing should be hidden. Okay, good. You have to look at it clearly, carefully, and ensure that nothing is hidden. These two, open it up and ensure that nothing is hidden and nothing overlaps. Okay, all right, so this is what you do carefully. This doesn't take more than 1 or 2 minutes for you to have a perfect score. So click this and you have this, and it will be neatly arranged. Okay, good. So before you conclude that you are done, it's better you go and see it in print preview and preview it from top to bottom. Ensure that nothing is hidden. Okay, good. Oh, you can see something is still hidden here. This is one of the things I'm saying. So we need to go back and adjust. Something is still hidden in this place. Layout view, and you come here, like something is still hidden. Okay, so nothing should be hidden. All right. Okay, so go back to check, be sure that nothing is hidden. Okay, print preview. Okay, scroll from bottom to top and see that nothing is hidden. Yeah, nothing is hidden. Everything is clearly done. So when you have done this and you are satisfied, then you can do this to it for the last time. I like to do this. This is just for extra. Okay, just select all the headings and probably make it bold, and then this is just for extra mark. So having selected it, go to design tab, go to format and use automatic, maybe bolding it, and you have it clearly done. So you go to print preview, you have it, your work perfectly done, nothing is hidden, you are sure. Okay, good. Scroll from bottom to top, from right to left, and be sure that you have it intact. Okay, having done this, so this is the first report. So we are done with the first report. This is the first report. So the next instruction, let's see, save and print your report. So to save, you just right click it here and go to print and pick the printer that is installed on your computer, then you click OK. So and that is that. Okay, the next instruction, so I may decide to close this since I'm done with it. I decide to close it. All right, so the next instruction says take screenshot evidence that the database formula used to calculate the total number of bookings and place this. To take the screenshot of the formula you use, just click it, go to design tab and come to this. This is what they want to see. You take the screenshot of this formula. It is very important. This is the formula that gave you 41. So if you go to it, you will see that 41 is put there. So that's the formula that gave you that 41. So you can just arrange it neatly. You can arrange it neatly. Maybe if you come to layout view, right, like this, just arrange it neatly. All right, can bring it close. All right, so this is neat. This is neat. Okay, so with this we are good. Then the next instruction is number 17. Using field from both tables, produce labels which select the records where days is 28. So note this instruction, using fields from both tables, produce. So you want to create a new query. Remember, for every report there is a query that will generate the report. So they will not say create a query, but create a report. So you are the one that will create the query first. Using field from both tables, produce labels. Now in this case, labels is used, not report. But sincerely, labels are a type of report. Let me quickly show you that before we continue. So go to create, come to report. Under report group, can you see those things? You can see under reports we see labels. So labels are a type of report. You can see show the label wizard to create standard or custom labels. So but before we create any type of report, either labels or what have you, you need to create a query first. So I may need to close this since I'm done with this. So what I do is you go to create, go to query wizard, pick simple query wizard. Since the question says from both tables, again from both tables, so I pick from both tables. This is the first table, bookings table, and I pick the second table, which is Yash table. You can notice that table query, so you will know from here. So this is the second table, then I pick it, next. So let me call it question 17 query, question 17 query, and I click on finish. So I have the query. I go to design view. So what are the criteria given in the question? Let's go. Said select the records where days is 28. Days is 28. So I pick days is 28. This is it. Where days is 28. If you are not sure, you can go to run and see days. Look at what you have, 18 different numbers. So if you want to pick the exact value where days is 28, just type 28 or equals to 28, run it and see. Okay, you can see that it has selected only records. It has selected records where days is 28. So now we have 26 record. Then let's go. What's the next thing? Select the records where depart country does not include Croatia. Remember, when we use include, we use star, C star. Now does not include means we are going to use not star, Croatia star. So for depart country, so let's go there to depart country. Let's quickly do that. This is depart country in the criteria row. So we say not include means star Croatia. you have to type this correctly. You have to be sure that the spelling is correct, not Croatia. Because why are we using that? Because the question says does not include Croatia. If include Croatia is star, Croatia star. Does not include will now be not star, Croatia star. So if it's a numeric value, we may use less and greater than together to represent not. Then we put star, the value star. So but we have done this, so let's run it and see. Okay, we have 8 records under the part country. If you look at the part country, it has picked different country but not Croatia. That's the meaning. But not, there's no Croatia there. So that's the meaning. We have Greece, Italy, and then. So having done this, then we are good. What's the next instruction? The next instruction is these are sorted in ascending order of last name. Since this is the only field to sort, we may sort it here, last name. So let's go sort last name. So let's look at last name. Okay, last name, sort descending order of last name. So I pick last name, descending order. Then I save this. What's the next instruction? Let's see. Using this selection, produce labels which are arranged in 2 columns and 4 rows with 8 labels to the page in portrait orientation. For example, each label size 99.0 millimeter wide by 67.7 millimeter high, which is also 9.90 centimeter by 6.77 centimeter. So to get this done is very simple. Don't forget, we have been told to arrange it in 2 columns. This part is very important, in 2 columns. You remember that the last time we created a query, we saved the query and we went straight to report wizard. So this is report group. Instead of clicking report wizard, the next thing to click is what? Is labels, because that's what the question asked us to do, that we should create labels. So this is what we have now. Then let's create the labels. So you go to create labels. Okay, this dialog box will come, and if you look at it, we were told to use arrange in 2 columns. That's the first thing, and the 2 columns should be 4 rows. 4 rows, 2 columns. That will give us with 8 labels. So to pick the 2 columns, you come here. 2 columns. To pick 2 columns, you come to number across and pick 2. So that will make it to have 2 columns. An example is this that we have here. This under 1, the one under here, 2 columns. So we pick 2. But what other settings do we need to pick? Let's check. So, and each label size should have 99.0 millimeter wide. 99.0. Okay, look at it. Every L7. So if you scroll very well and you search through, you will see the one that has 99.0 millimeter and 67.7 millimeter. So this is actually the one. So you pick it. If the one you are looking for is not here, you may click customize and set it to the dimensions you are given in the exam. So you click on next. So when you get to next, what's the next thing? Display the fields in the positions shown in the following sample label. So to display it this way is very simple. So just come here. You don't need to tamper with the font style, since they didn't ask us to do anything. If they ask us to do anything, you can do it right here. Change the font size, font color, but they did not really ask us here. And even if they do, we can also set it in the design view later. So let's come to next. What's the next thing they ask us to do? They said display the fields in this position. For us to do it, remember what they said. Yacht name. Okay. Yacht name. So we start. So we pick yacht name first. Since that's the first thing they ask us to pick, yacht name. You notice that as I picked it, yacht name has come here. This is the prototype label. What's the next instruction? Let's see. After yacht name, title, first name and last name together. Title, first name, last name together. Title. So before I'll pick title, I have to go to next by bringing my cursor here and press enter, so that the next thing I pick will come to the next line. So title. After title, what's the next thing? You see that immediately after title there is a space before first name. So I'm going to do that. So I put space on this, pressing the space bar, then I put first name. After first name I put a space again, then I pick last name. So according to the prototype I have here. So thereafter, the next line, postcode. The next line, to go to the next line, click here and press enter. So the next line is what? Postcode. So I go to pick the postcode. After that, I go to the next line according to instruction, which is depart port and depart country. Depart port and depart country. Depart port, comma, according to the label, space, depart country. Then the next instruction is depart date, then days. Depart date, then days. Depart date. So this is it. So I go to the next line before I do that. Depart date, then days. Okay, this is the prototype. Having selected it carefully here, the next instruction says it asks your name, center number, and candidate number on the left at the bottom of each label. Your name, center number. So after this I press enter. Your name, so my name is, just type that one straight without picking from anywhere. Name, center number is NG SSS, and then candidate number 0001. So to the left, then next. Then the next instruction is modify the format of the Yacht name field, so it is center aligned and displayed in a bold, larger font size. So to get this done is also simple. So just go to next. Remember we have sorted. The question asks us to sort, and we have sorted the other time. So I'll just go to next. So let me just call it label for question 17. Label for question 17. So when I click on finish, modify in label design, then I have. So remember, there's an instruction that we have not done, which it says modify the format of the Yacht name so that it is center aligned and displayed in a bold, larger font size. So this is the first one for Yacht name according to the instruction. So they said we should format it. So while you are in the design view, come to format, center align it, make it bold, automatic, and then in a larger. Since others are 10, you can make it 12 or 14. Okay, good. So we have it like this. Open it up so that it can be like this at the center. Okay, you can also bolden this, since this one will serve as the footer. Okay, good. Then having done this, let's go to the next instruction. The next instruction is save and print your labels. But before we do that, can we just go here and go to print preview and look at what we have? Oh, can you see that? Can you see that? Okay, so you notice that the moment we go to print preview, you see it, and we have two columns. So set your paper size to A4, is there, and then look at the two columns that we have. This is column 1 and this is column 2, and you will discover that we have 4 rows. This first row, second row, third row, and the fourth row according to the instruction. So it is actually very simple. So you see that the label carries 8 marks and the total database question is 29 marks. So this is very simple. This is what you can actually do. But let me tell you this, it's very important. You notice that if you come to normal report view, let me click normal report view, you will discover that your label will display like it's just in one column report. Now for access label, it will not show the number of columns until you come to print preview. Very important. Until you come to print preview, before you can see it like that. So if for any reason, imagine they ask you to make it 2 rows to a page, you just come to design view and just close up this. Is it close it up or open it up a bit and go to this? If you open it up, can you see I now have 4 labels to a page? Now I have 2 pages. Is that okay? So that's what you will do. So now that they did not ask us to do that, you just do what? You just close it up a bit and go back, and you see that we have 4 to a page. So this is exactly what the instruction is asking you to do. So it is actually very simple. So these are the 2 reports in this question. The first report is this that we have done, and we have done it, and we have it, and we have the name and everything, then neatly done. And the second one is this, the label, and this is the label report. And having done this, we have come to the end of this question. So it is actually something very simple that you can undo. So thank you